Good morning everyone, my name is Arya Satrio, my student number is 60, I'm from group 9 and today we are going to continue our study about syntax. We are going to continue to phrase structure rules. Phrase structure rules are the rules that a language uses for combining words, which describe the arrangement of the constituent of a sentence. It is used to generate phrase structure trees, which are hierarchical diagrams that show how words are grouped into phrases and sentences. And we have seen the example of a structure tree in the last week's presentation video, and now we are going to look at it once again. The sentence is, the art student will look at a very beautiful painting. This sentence consists of noun phrase, followed by auxiliary, followed by verb phrase. The noun phrase consists of determiner, followed by adjective phrase, followed by noun. And the adjective phrase consists of adverb in parentheses, followed by adjective, and it means that one of the two adjective phrases in the sentence includes an adverb and the other does not. The verb phrase consists of verb followed by prepositional phrase. And now we are going to talk about recursion in language. Recursion means repeated application of a recursive procedure. Recursion allows one type of syntactic structure to be included inside another structure of the same type, such as a noun phrase, to create infinitely long sentences or infinite number of different sentences. Like in the sentence, the boy they chased the dog, they chased the cat, they chased the squirrel, they chased the bird, they chased the bug. In this way, we can create an infinitely long sentence. Phrase structure rules are recursive rules. For instance, the structure rule prepositional phrase consists of preposition followed by noun phrase is recursive in that it can generate all the prepositional phrases in the sentence. The people in the car on the freeway in the lane by the wall drove home. The rule prepositional phrase consists of preposition followed by noun phrase can be applied over and over again in the same sentence, leading to a more complex sentence as illustrated in the diagram that provides a phrase marker only for the application of the rule. Prepositional phrase consists of preposition followed by noun phrase. Generative grammar can be approached in different ways, and phrase structure rules can vary depending on the approach. We have only covered simple declarative sentences, like sentence consists of noun phrase followed by auxiliary followed by verb phrase. And the general rule for yes or no interrogative sentences is sentence consists of auxiliary followed by noun phrase and followed by verb phrase. We have not covered phrase structure rules or phrase markers for compound complex or compound complex sentence or for other classes of sentence. We leave that to a course specifically on the topic of syntax. And the next material will be explained by my friend.
Hello everyone, my name is Khairan Ramadhan Ghalizha and my student number is 0601 12 8 222 7053. Today I would like to tell you about transformational rules. So transformational rules are a concept in linguistics introduced by Noam Chomsky. Transformational rules are used to describe how sentences can be transformed from one grammatical form to another without changing their underlying meaning. These rules allow linguists to analyze the deep structure of sentences and the surface structure. Surface structure in linguistics refers to the actual arrangement of words and phrases in a sentence as it's spoken or written. The concept by surface structure is essential in transformational generative grammar. Analyzing both deep and surface structure help linguists understand the complexities of sentence formation and meaning in different languages. Verbal expression. Specific type of verbal expression is phrasal verb. Phrasal verb is a verb phrase consisting of a verbal base and a verbal particle. It can have an idiomatic or special meaning. The verbal base is the main part of the verb. Verbal particles are proposition or adverb and are an integral part of phrasal verb. These particles often change the meaning of the verb. Phrase marker. What is phrase marker meaning? A phrase marker is a set of point or labeled nodes that are connected by branches. At the bottom of the phrase marker are the terminal nodes that represent lexical categories. This diagram show a basic phrase marker and another one show a derived phrase marker. Basic phrase marker is assigned by rules of the base roughly equivalent to the phrase structure rules of the earlier system. Derived phrase marker is a phrase marker after transformational rules have been applied. Movement transformation. One kind of movement transformation is topicalization transformation. Topicalization transformation is a process of adopting the object of a sentence as the topic. That is by the process of movement transformation to topicalize object by moving to the initial position. Example, the original sentence, I met your brother at the party last night, can transform to at the party last night I met your brother. In this transformation, the phrase at the party last night has been moved to the beginning of the sentence, emphasizing the specific time and place where the meeting occurred. I think that's all from me. Thank you and goodbye.
Another type of transformational rules. Deletion transformation in linguistics refers to the removal or omission of certain words or phrase from a sentence without causing a loss of meaning. For example, Sarah likes coffee and John likes tea. Deletion transformations can be Sarah likes tea and John's coffee. In these transformations, the phrase likes is deleted in the second part of the sentence because it cannot be inferred from the context. This transformation is called the verb phrase deletion rules. Insertion transformation in linguistics involve the addition of words of phrases into a sentence to provide additional information or to modify its meaning. This can include adjective, adverb, prepositional phrase, or other modifiers that change the description or context of the sentence. For example, he went to the store. Insertion transformations with prepositional phrase can be he went to the store near the park. In this transformation, the prepositional phrase near the park is inserted to provide additional information about the location of the store. The insertion of that to form a surface structure sentence is not surprisingly called the that insertion transformation. Substitution transformation in linguistics involve replacing one word of phrase in a sentence with another word or phrase that serves a similar grammatical or semantic function. The substitution of a pronoun is called a pronominalization transformation. Like all transformation, it does not change meaning. For example, Mary likes to read. Mary also likes to paint. Substitution transformation with pronoun can be Mary likes to read and she also likes to paint. In these transformations, the noun Mary in the second sentence is substituted with the pronoun she. Optional transformation used to convey additional information, emphasis, or stylistic variation. Another rule that is obligatory in English is called yes or no question formation. Transformational grammarians assume that the deep structure of a yes or no question is similar to that of declarative sentence, of inverting the auxiliary verb and the subject. For example, she goes to school. Obligatory transformation to form a yes or no question, it can be does she go to school? In Japan, a yes or no question is formed not by a movement transformation as in English, but by an insertion transformation. The suffix ka is inserted on the end of the verb to form a question from a statement. but the order of the word is not changed. For example, Karewa tenis to oshimasu. Yes or no question formed by insertion transformation. It can be Karewa tenis to oshimasu ka? In this example, the suffix ka is inserted at the end of the verb shimasu to transform the statement into a yes or no question without changing the word order.
Hi, my name is Fetrina Ria Puspita and my last student number is 058. Today, I will explain about grammatically judgments and ambiguity as with all levels of language: phonetic, phonological, morphological, and semantic. The syntactic level is rule-governed. Fluent speakers of a language possess enormous subconscious knowledge. A fluent speaker will also know about proper word order, the proper relationship of words, and will often recognize ambiguous utterance. So, you cannot just randomly arrange lexical items to create a sentence. Okay, do you know what grammatical and ungrammatical sentences are? A grammatical sentence is one in which the sequence of words conforms to the syntactic knowledge of native speakers of a language. For example, she walked to the store. She as subject, walk as verb, to the store as complement. So, this is grammatical sentence. Ungrammatical sentence is one in which the sequence of words doesn't conform to the syntactic knowledge fluent speakers of a language. For example, him walked to the store. Him as object pronoun, walk as verb, and to the store as complement. Him is ungrammatical because him is an object pronoun, and object pronouns are typically not used as the subject of a sentence. Instead, subject pronouns like he should be used in the subject positions. So the correct sentence it should be he walked to the store. Now I will talk about three kinds of grammatically judgments. The first one is grammatically judgments about completeness. In the context of grammar, judgments about completeness typically refer to whether a sentence or statement is grammatically complete or not. A grammatically complete sentence follows the rules and structure of a given language, allowing it to convey a clear and coherent thought. That house, not pretty. All English sentences include a verb. The necessity for a verb is one of the more consciously known rules of English syntax. So, it should be that house is not pretty. Second is grammatically judgments about word order. Grammatically judgments about word order pertain to assessing whether the arrangements of words in a sentence follows the accepted and conventional rules of grammar in a given language. In English, for example, the typical word order is subject, verb, and object. For example, this sentence: you had early get up wanted, as not being the correct English word order. That is the word-to-word translation of the German sentence. In English, looking at just the verb, we can see that in a complex contraction like had wanted to get up early, the word order can be analyzed as follows: helping or auxiliary verb had, verb wanted, verb complement to get up, and adverb early. Third, grammatically judgments about word combinations. Grammatically judgments about word combinations involve assessing whether the specific arrangements of words in a sentence or phrase conforms to the established rules and conventions of a given language. In essence, it's about determining whether the combination of words is grammatical or not. Some lexical categories of words can occur together, and others cannot. For instance, the looked is not a possible combination of words in English. Grammatically judgments several non-factors. Grammatically, an utterance is not based on whether or not you have heard that utterance before. Language is productive, so that most of the sentences you create and hear or see, if written or signed, you haven't experienced before. You might understand the meaning of a sentence that you judge not to be grammatical. Consider the sentence. For example, the people is in the room. The sentence is understandable, but ungrammatical. Grammatically doesn't depend on factualness. Sentence: the President of the United States is a 3-year-old cat is grammatical but not factual. So the grammatically of an utterance is not based on whether or not the utterance makes sense. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rizky Bangun and my last student number is 155. Ambiguous sentence. In addition to making grammatical judgment, fluent speakers usually can detect ambiguity in a sentence. A sentence is ambiguous if it has more than one meaning. Can you see why the following sentence is ambiguous? The woman appealed to all men. Here, appeal is the problem. Does it mean were desirable or pleaded? Such ambiguity which involves a word that has more than one meaning is called lexical ambiguity or polysemantic ambiguity. Lexical ambiguity is often consciously used to form puns, such as fish are really smart, they always are found in school. When the constituent of sentence can be organized in more than one way, we refer to structural ambiguity or syntactic ambiguity. The following sentence can be organized in two ways. Chris owns large dogs and cats. This is ambiguous because it can mean Chris owns large dogs and a cat of any size. Here, large is linked to dogs but not to cats. Or it can mean Chris owns large dogs and large cats. Here, large is linked to both dogs, solid line, and cat, broken line. Andrew will forget tomorrow. The sentence can mean that by tomorrow Andrew will forget something, or that Andrew will forget a specific day or event that is here labeled as tomorrow. Note that tomorrow has the same basic meaning in each interpretation and that the constituents of the sentence cannot be organized in more than one way. And the ambiguity stems from the fact that tomorrow can be an adverb modifying will forget, it answers when Andrew will forget, or it can be a noun. In this case, it is the object of the verb forget and tells what is going to be forgotten. It is easier to see the possible arrangement of constituents in phrase marker. The sentence could generate the following two phrase markers. Notice that these diagrams are the same except for the function that tomorrow serves in two sentences. We also know when words or sentences mean the same or different things.
Synonymous sentences. Language can be thought of as a complex puzzle. Sometimes you can exchange pieces or the words and maintain the overall picture or the meaning. But this doesn't always work. For example, felines are more fastidious than canines is synonymous with cats are cleaner than dogs. In both sentences, we're talking about cat being cleaner than dogs. This interchangeability of words is what makes them synonymous. Additionally, linguists often use large words. Synonymous with large words are often used by linguists. These two sentences convey the same idea that linguists tend to use big words. However, not all sentences can be altered this way. Take the sentence, Andrew will forget tomorrow. Changing it to tomorrow will be forgotten by Andrew result in a different idea. In the first sentence, Andrew is the one doing the forgetting, while in the second, tomorrow is the one being forgotten. So, these sentences are not synonymous. Moreover, sometimes rearranging words in a sentence can lead to a third result. Consider the sentence, the dog ate a biscuit. If we rearrange the word to a biscuit and the dog, it doesn't make sense because it's changed the meaning completely. Language can be intervened because it allows for different ways to express ideas, but it is not as simple as replacing one word with another. The concept of theme and surface structure in linguistics help us understand why some sentences can be modified to create synonyms while others lead to confusion or absurdity. Summary. Studying grammar means understanding the rules of language. Language is like a system of rules with different layers. People often think of grammar as sentence structure, but it is just one part called syntax. Syntax deals with how words and pieces come together to form bigger units. Morphology focuses on the rule of words, and phonology deals with the sounds of speech. A sentence can be described by its structure or its job, like asking or telling. It can also be active or passive. A clause has a subject and a predicate, but if it can stand alone as a sentence, it's a dependent clause. A phrase is a part of a sentence that doesn't have both a subject and a predicate. In the 1950s, Noam Chomsky changed the study of sentence structure with transformational generative grammar. He said, we first have an idea of what we want to say, and then our brain turns it into grammar rules. This rule leads to the deep structure and for others to understand. It must be converted into the specific grammar of language. The sentence deep structure can result in different surface structures depending on the language or the speaker's style. Chomsky's ideas about language can have evolved over time. Trained speakers can usually tell if someone isn't following the language rules, which help identify foreign speakers. They might leave out words, use wrong word order, or not understand idioms. This shows that language is rule-based and structured.